look, we're talking a lot about angry women at the moment. I love history. This is my favorite bit of um, pissed off women getting shit done history. Remove that and we'll add that. 1975, Icelandic women's strike. 24th of October 1975. Basically, all Icelandic women went on strike. They walked off their jobs. They refused to do child rearing, cooking their husband's dinner, any of their wifely duties. They were just like, nah, you don't value us. The very next year, there were sweeping changes to pay equality. And they still commemorate that to this day.
Wow.
So I'm going to put that in my little box, my little
Your President Chewie box.
what I don't know, like a dream journal or something like that. Pin it to the wall.
Vision
But
board.
Chewie's vision board. That's what
There
I
you
was
go.
looking for. Of why strikes are good
Yeah.
and get shit done. I think we are rapidly approaching the need for something pretty close to a general strike.
Well,
And I
one of
know
the
that there are rules around it and blah, 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 blah. But people aren't listening to us.
yeah, but if we follow the rules and they go screw the rules, you know what I mean? Like I was talking to someone today, and we were talking about David Seymour, and you know, we talked when Bomber's show got canned and stuff. We talked about what that actually meant. And what it actually meant is we can now, and I know that everybody knows this and knew this, but we can now more tangibly anchor to the people who scream, it's about free speech, that it's not, because we've found a topic where they won't stand up for speech they disagree with, and that's speech around Israel. So they won't do it, and we found it. And remember, Chippy said to us that, and I'm paraphrasing, but he said, when they, meaning the right, talk about bipartisan bills, what you do is you turn up to their office and they go, this is the bill, you agree with us, eh? That's their form of bipartisan. When I was talking to someone about that today, we talked about David Seymour, and he said to me, it's like when David Seymour goes, I want to have a conversation about this. And then every single person who tries to have a conversation with him with the opposing view gets minimized and gets told no. So that's not a conversation, David, right? A conversation is give and take if you actually did believe it, which you don't, because as soon as you have someone who says something you disagree with, you minimize them or you dismiss them and hand wave them away. So what you're actually saying is, I want people to hear my voice. You're not looking for a conversation. And I think that you'll find more and more militancy in some people on the left who have been a bit more, not placid or timid, like Cenk Uygur on the Young Turks. Like he was going through a thing in the last 12 months, for those of you who watch it, about, having a beer after you debate with the opposing view. Look, I'm not standing up for the Young Turks at the moment. There's some serious problems there, but you can quite clearly see that Cenk is starting to revert back to, these guys aren't going to have conversations with us. He's taken a long time to learn that, and I think you'll see a growing number of people on the left that might have been polite and might have been, well, let's all share our views, to being like, fuck off, you don't want to have an honest conversation. You're a dishonest actor, and you're now going to hear my voice. We've spent the last 2 years with this government hearing your voices, and you guys saying you want a conversation when you don't. Yep, we've had it up now. So you're going to hear our voice. There you go, Chewie.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I mean it when I say that in the areas of social media that I travel in, there is a real palpable sense of rage over this. And I think a lot, well, all of that rage is deserved. But I also think that we're seeing it not just from this egregious abuse of urgency or the target of this legislation or the unfairness of the fact that it is both retrospective and just cuts people off at the knees of years of work putting their claims together. I think it is that whole point of, this is another thing.
Yeah.
I was angry about this. I was angrier about this. I got more angry over this. And now I'm fucking furious.
Yeah. But what you want to do now is you want to get that fury and you want to like seriously focus it. Even if you've got the one thing. I mean, if your one thing is the Treaty Principles Bill or if your one thing is the Equality Pay Act or whatever it is, there's nothing wrong. Like in business, they talk about going narrow and going deep. Like if you're trying to do too much and you spread yourself too thin, sometimes you won't be as successful as if you go narrow and you go deep. You sell one product, but you make it the best product in the world. If you've got an issue, then go narrow and go deep. Other people may do the other ones, but you can go narrow and go deep if you have particularly passionate about an issue, and we'll support you on it. Even if it's not our issue, or even if we are interested in your issue and 3 or 4 others, but if you want to go narrow and go deep, you go for it, and we'll be here to ride your coattails.